Located just a quick 10 minutes from Kent State's campus, the Brimfield Bread Oven provides delicious baked goods Wednesday through Saturday, and their super popular pizza nights begin at 4 p.m. on Saturdays, featuring a wide variety of toppings to choose from, as well as a specialty pizza that changes on a monthly basis. But they don't just sell in-house. You may have also seen their products inside of local coffee shops such as the Bent Tree, or seen them at the Haymakers Farmers Market. I got the pleasure of sitting down with one of the owners, Genevieve Smith, to talk about the ins and outs of running one of the most popular bakeries in the area.
Hi, welcome back to Food Flash. I am here at the Brimfield Bread Oven, just the bread oven for this camera, with Jen Smith, one of the owners of the Brimfield Bread Oven. Jen, please say hello to one of the disembodied cameras.
Hello, welcome to the Brimfield Bread Oven.
You started as a small-time cottage food baker in 2014. Could you speak a bit on the cottage food business industry? Those who don't know.
Yeah, starting as a small home bakery essentially felt manageable and safe, and my husband was really into baking and I was too. We both were doing it together, but he was the one that left the workforce to just start doing it full-time at home while I stayed working with a real job. So we were baking in our kitchen. In our driveway we had a mobile wood-fired oven that was about 3 feet by 5 feet. So it was a nice little size. You could really bake a lot of bread in it. We were doing farmers markets locally and that was it. So I think we did 2 or 3 different markets back in the day, Talmadge, Brimfield, and Memorial Falls. I think were the 3 that we did.
So what were the benefits of starting as a cottage food business?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like it let us kind of dip our toes in and try out the flow of baking with the wood-fired oven. You have to have there's a rhythm to it, start the fire in the evening, fire sometimes all night long, maybe mixing doughs at the same time, and then baking the next day when the fire's out. So we got to kind of figure out some of that within our home and on a smaller scale than doing it really big. And we got to really see the capacity of these ovens. It retains heat for so long. It could bake for 12 hours in that oven off of one firing. So it was really cool to see it that way, and also test the market, to see if people were interested in what we were making, if they liked it, what kinds of things they liked. So it was a really fun experience doing it that way, and it was nice to start in a manageable, no employees, just make the thing, go to the market, sell it, talk to people. That was very nice.
Yeah, I'm a very simplistic.
Yeah.
Did you see a lot of was there a lot of response from customers?
Yeah, we had repeat customers that came at week after week and were telling their friends about it. You could kind of see we weren't doing any crazy big business that summer, but you could see that people were liking it, and we were already thinking about ways to make it better, do more, do a little different. So and with practice too, just figuring out wood-fired baking, that was cool.
So you were in a groove, the business was doing well. Ohio comes in, says cottage food bakeries can't use wood-fired ovens to make pizza.
Yeah.
Did they give you, or I think you mentioned it, but did they give you a reason, or
it was just that the oven wasn't in our kitchen, physically.
And it
that was the reason. You have to use your home kitchen oven for cottage feeds. So mobile, you can use other stuff, and that's different licensing, and you have to have a truck to stand in. You can't use your kitchen in mobile. So we were just in this awkward space of being half mobile, half cottage feeds. But I do know there are lots of bakers that have started that way with an oven. A lot of bakers have an oven in a garage, a commercial oven in their garage, and they built a little bakery at their house, and that's how they get going. It's a great way to start. Just low risk, low cost. You're at your house, because baking is 24 hours a day sometimes. So when you're getting started, it's nice to be able to go inside and take a nap for 3 hours while the dip fries, as opposed to doing it in a workspace with trying to get all those to CZ basic paper. So
because of this, obviously you switched to the traditional brick and mortar. Was there ever a time where you were kind of just considering changing the food you serve, or was it was it kind of just really quick, okay, we're switching to brick and mortar now?
We did freak out for a little bit. Okay. It was because the cost to go from your house to here is a big one.
Right.
So it's kind of we did it for a season, then you have to plan out like how much you need to make to sell to pay for it. So we kind of like, with much fear, decided to sort of, it was like taking a leap of faith, but that's what we did. Yeah. So we thought like it was pretty good trial. We had good response. We're like, we can do this on a bigger scale. So we, built it a little bigger.
That's impressive. Was there ever like a brief window where you're just like, pastries? We have to start like, we have to go crazy. We have to open up to donuts. We need apple fritters.
Also,
we need and we got to start expanding.
At the heart of our bakery has always been bread, and it'll probably always be bread. That's why we did it. That's why we named it the bread oven. Because when you were telling me we're starting a bakery, there was like, oh, do you make cakes and stuff? Right. Or you're like, nope. Like we're gonna do bread. And so that was like a really fun part to that we like cared a lot about was the and that's still I think our biggest item as a whole that we sell is bread.
It sounds a lot more fun when it's like focalized, probably not when it's like a make or break financially.
Yeah, bread's a harder one to like maybe make as much money out. Like, you know, cakes you can find everywhere, and they people spend a lot of money on that stuff. And bread, I guess bread too, but like we decided we didn't want to price our items so high that a normal person couldn't afford it. So like things like our baguette, we've never changed the price in a decade because I just think a baguette should be $3. Anybody should be able to get a baguette. So things like that, we sort of like try to keep true to ourselves and not worry about what other places might do, like especially in big cities too. Some of that stuff can be outrageous.
Yeah, that's awesome. So this is moving a little more forward. At the end of 2024, you made the announcement that the oven would be changing due to costly repairs. And was it a tough change?
It was tough. It was a hard decision to make. But mostly we were, we had a good lifespan. That was like a 9-year. Just about, and I think they often say they're like 9 or 10 years and you need to make like major repairs to those ovens. Though the type of oven we have now is probably like a 30-year type of lifespan for almost the same initial price. So it's good to like, reference that, but that's not the only reason why that it was like, that's like longer and, just like lower maintenance. But also like we had a person whose whole job was like firing the oven every day. And that's like super fun, but it was also like sometimes tricky to staff that. It's gotta be someone that you can like trust, that can be by themselves for hours at a time. They're managing like a huge fire and trying to get the heat like just so that the oven is at the right conditions for baking the next day. And it's like we had it pretty dialed in by, the last few years, but it was still like, it was a big trust thing and a lot of energy goes into it. And, people need time off or whatever. Like my husband and I were subbing in, but we also have 2 kids. So that was like its own little chaos. Wow. So part of the decision was just like lifestyle choices, like making things a little simpler and like more consistent and being able to also increase the volume of what we could bake. So this oven the new oven can bake about like 1.5 times as much as the old one, just in its size, but also it's like it's way more than that when you think the old oven needed about a 12-hour period to like be fired and like to saturate the heat and even out, and this one doesn't need any time. So we almost gain like the size and 12 hours a day that we could be baking. Not that we do bake 24 hours a day, but these ovens are made for that if you want to. So it's like particularly we felt it in the holidays, whereas usually we're like kind of doing this stressful dance of like to baking and then like running into the next person who's trying to do like, so we're trying to like rush and get it through and like not use all the heat. And it's just, there's always like one night of the holidays where like I'm in, it's like 2 a.m, the oven firing person's there, and we're like looking at the temperatures going, this isn't gonna be great. Like, like we're doing our best. And like this year it was like no problem. Like I baked a couple times from like midnight to 2 a.m, and I was like, this is so easy. And I love that no one's here and there's no pressure as long as I'm done before 2 or 3 a.m. And I didn't need to do it the night, but it was just like I had all this extra time and it like made it easy. I could come in and bake 1,500 like Christmas cookies in a couple of hours while I'm like, and just take that burden out of the day because it's like hard to have even pan space for all that. Like, so it was like, it was huge being able to like have that flexibility and ease to, bake all the stuff. So
The bread oven is often referred to as the European style of bakery. Can you tell us what like some of the staples or what defines that also?
yeah, that's a good question. I feel like my husband and I both like really love Parisian bakeries. So we were thinking like their baguettes. But we also love a lot of German baking too. So we have like a whole rye bread that is very traditional. And so there's like a mixture of some stuff in between. I think it was partly like the people who we learned baking from. That's also what they were into and where they learned. So it like kind of gets passed down to us in our own way.
The bread oven also rotates a special pizza each month. Some previous entries include a duxelle pizza and a banh mi pizza. The current special for March is a red pepper pesto pizza. I got the chance to ask Jen where some of these ideas came from.
I feel like different people who work here, we all get inspired by different things. So I think the banh mi came from just me craving banh mi sandwich, and I was like, let's get us a pizza. The duxelle, I remember Joe's from Joe Barbecue. I think he came up with that one. He used to do our pizza night way back in the day. So he made duxelle originally and put it on the pizza, and then we were like, wow, that's amazing. And so we've been using that since then as a special.
Say I'm a part-time employee, I'm just started. Give me like 2 months. Can I be like, I want to put mayonnaise on this pizza? How open are you to that idea?
I'm pretty open. We'll at least try it. Like we'll mess around and bake one and see how it is. Like we have the ingredients, we'll totally put it in there. What happens? Yeah.
Is there any concern when making a pizza like that, like say covered in mayonnaise, that it may not resonate with as many people?
I feel like some specials definitely do better than others. And you can tell when people aren't into it because they don't buy it. No, but our customers who know, they'll ask every month, like, what's the special right now? And they'll, get it or not. And I can tell by like, oh, we've sold like at least 20 of these tonight. Like this must be, in demand. And so we'll kind of take note of what's the popular one and what's not.
So not every business sees the same success and longevity that the bread oven has seen, not even food businesses in particular. What do you think, or what would you say is the driving force behind that success from what we talked about?
I feel like one of my rules is like I try to just make what I enjoy. And I enjoy lots of food, so it's not like a very narrow path. But we want to make things that we're inspired by and the other people are enjoying and excited about. So we have a lot of freedom. And our bakers take advantage of that. They'll be making random products that they saw like online and they wanted to try out. Like, and we'll just be featuring them like as we want to, because it's just fun to cook different things. So I feel like part of that's been great. I feel like our front of house team has amazing customer service, and like just making sure that everyone's happy and like well cared for. It makes a big difference when you care and ask them how their day was. Like, have those conversations. Like, explain what this niche bread that is confusing to say out loud. Like, what's in there? Like, we should be having those conversations. And early on, we did a lot of like sampling. We always had something out for people to eat when they came in. And I keep thinking we should bring it back, but COVID, kind of, we put all that stuff away for
Sure, that makes sense.
But I feel like we're ready to bring some samples back out, and that always helps too, because it's hard to like know what something's gonna taste like, and then you try it and you're like, oh, this is delicious. So it's pretty easy to sell yummy bread and fake stuff.
Yeah. So I'm definitely in the camp of I'm a big believer in samples.
Yeah.
Good way to extend palate.
Yeah, healths are delicious. So
I also got the opportunity to pick Jen's brain on some of the various items that the bread oven has on the menu.
If you had to pick, what is your personal favorite item on the menu? Right.
it's true.
Is it menu, or is it just kind of like a cat?
It does feel like a cat on us sometimes. Item. I feel like it changes day to day, and we joke sometimes like picking your favorite child. Sure. But I feel like most regularly I'm eating multigrain sourdough. It's like my staple bread. I eat a lot of the whole rye bread too, the Kuchenbrot. As far as sweets go, I love chocolate chip cookies, very basic of me, but I love all the croissants. But I think I eat the plain one the most. And you can put anything on it. Jam. You can make a new egg sandwich, like just make it classy.
And one last question. This is for all of the people watching at home. What is one thing that you would recommend that they come and buy? That wasn't already listed as one of your favorites.
Ooh, streaky. I feel like a baguette. Let's go classic. I mean, that is such a good bread, and it is not like anything you'll find in a grocery store. I feel like it's a very undervalued bread. Take it out, go have a picnic, like break it in half and just eat it. Like it's so versatile. Put toppings on it or don't. Like have it with your dinner, have it with your lunch. Make a sandwich on it. Make a French bread pizza. So there's like, it doesn't get old.